just rocked our world, and to everyone else who helped on this journey. You know, we're just the two guys they schlepped on stage, but it's a huge film and it's a huge amount of people involved. You know, making posters, websites, filling in wherever we needed. Thank you guys so much.
We are here with the producer of Before the Plate, Dylan Scher. Hey, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling a lot happier now than I was about 2 hours ago, and was a little nervous. So for sure, yeah, definitely really, really happy now.
Awesome. We met a couple of years ago when you were starting this project. Tell us about the journey to get here today.
You know, I never thought it would happen. That's what it comes down to. Is I never imagined that it would be this crazy. I never imagined that one post on social media would lead to the making of a feature-length documentary. But yeah, 2 years in the making, and here we are. And I think it went off as close to perfect as we possibly could. So all things considered, I'm really happy.
Talk about for a second. I mean, what went into this? I mean, you mentioned 10,000 kilometers. 3 helicopter rides, a couple of crashes. Tell us about that journey.
Not helicopter crashes. Hard drive crashes. Yeah, what went into it? More than what I knew was possible. Sigi, my director, kind of took the reins on that. That is what he does, and he does it so well. I was fortunate to fall into a producer role, which was, you know, basically getting the project together, raising money, doing all the location stuff, organizing the story and all that, but he was really the man behind the camera that made it all come together. So there was a technical level beyond what I could have imagined, but he just proved that we pulled it together tonight in a way that was beyond my wildest dreams. So
talk about, I guess, the support you got from the farm community. I mean, you've got some incredible farmers here to open the doors and then invite you in, and just talk about, I guess, the support that you got from those people and what they want to see from this film.
You know, I think it's a pride piece, and we're seeing that tonight. They're all here, they're all dressed up, and I know getting a farmer out of their work clothes into some, you know, nicer attire is a bit of a stretch, but they loved every second of it, and because we got to tell their story, and I think that is the key piece that, you know, us as city kids, you know, why did we tell the farmer's story? But it turned out to be a pretty cool one, and I think from what they're telling us, I think we did an okay job at it, so yeah. I'm proud of that.
We're joined now by the director of the film. An awesome show.
Thank you.
Tell us about this journey. I mean, you're a city kid.
Yep.
What's it like to be telling the agriculture story through the eyes of a chef and farmers?
It's humbling, honestly. It's such a big world that I don't see, and I haven't seen until now. And it was just an amazing experience because everyone was so open to sharing the story. You know, I think there's a lack of communication from, you know, both sides, and that's part of what we were trying to help solve. But both sides really want to make that communication. So, you know, the farmers were so friendly and so open, and, you know, it was really rewarding to go out there and meet them and see how much they care about the food they produce and the things that they're doing, and then help try to bring that story back to the city where I'm from.
Yeah, and how important is that? And I mean, I guess going back is, you know, how successful do you think you've been? I mean, this is a tremendous story. It could be told so many ways. Are you happy with the story that you've got here?
I'm very happy with the product we got, for sure. I think the story's not done. You know, there's so many pieces of the industry that we didn't touch on and I would like to touch on. You know, this is also just the Canadian story. And the story, there's a different story all over the world. And I think a lot of parts of this film, you know, are true worldwide, or at least North America wide. But, you know, there's a million different facets of the industry that we weren't able to cover, and I always wish we did. You know, not even for the film, just because I want to learn.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm really happy with what we were able to accomplish. You know, as an independent documentary, you know, with a low budget, people are working for very little or free and just putting their passion into it. I think it came out great.
Yeah. Now, premiere here today. Where does it go from here? We're hearing Toronto Film Festival. Where might farmers see it and consumers?
Well, right now our next goal is we're looking at marketing and distribution. So ideally we're going to find a distributor who is going to push the film out for us. We're obviously doing a bit of that on our own, but we'd like to get it on, you know, a popular streaming service like Netflix, maybe Crave, something like Hulu, those things, so that the audiences out there can see it. You know, we don't want this just to be us here and that's it, right? This is just 500 people, but we want to show it to 500,000 people, you know, as many as we can.
Final question for you, and that is the message that, you know, when people watch this film, you know, what do you want them to walk out with, you know, from a perspective of understanding their food and understanding farming?
I think I want people to walk out with the idea that the questions they have answers, and that they can go and find those answers, and it's not as far away as they think. And I think also it's important for people to walk out and remember and understand that, you know, it's part of their obligation when we live in this increasingly divided world where, you know, cities are growing more city-like and, you know, the farmers are getting farther away, that we have to know and understand where our food is coming from. Because if we lose touch of those two things, then we won't be able to make the changes we want going forward, and we won't be able to communicate effectively with the people growing our food.
Hey, great job.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time.
Of course, thank you so much.
Joined now by Carl and Ben Loeth, who starred in Before the Plate. Gentlemen, some great messages for this film. I'll start with you, Ben. You had a lot of great points about the fact that we need to be out there, we need to be telling the story of what's happening on their farms, and even especially on a dairy farm like yours.
Well, no, it was I was really happy to be part of this project because it's so rare that you get an opportunity to show people from the city actually how their food is made, and there's a tremendous amount of science, but also art that goes into all the different commodities.
And Carol, you talked about how farming has changed over the years that you've seen it, and it's changed so much in 40 years, and how much is going to change going forward as well.
Well, that's absolutely right. I mean, the technology is just like every other industry that I mentioned in the film. It's unbelievable the technology that so quickly is coming these days, and how fast it's changing, even in a 2 or 3 year period. There's new stuff coming down the pipe, and the progressive farmers are adapting to it and making good use of the good technology that's coming.
And how important is a film like this? I mean, to bring this message to consumers, and how important is it for farmers like yourselves to participate in it?
Well, it was a great opportunity for us because when it comes to food, I think there's so much fear-mongering that goes on in the marketplace today, and to get that message out that food today, it's better in every way than it used to be. The food is healthier, the animals are healthier and better taken care of. There's more variety of food now than there has been in the past. And I think people think the opposite is true.
Well, hey, thanks for stopping by. Great job.
Thank you very much. Great. It was a pleasure.